Alright, so we're continuing with part B of chapter 3. We're still moving through the temple, and I'm still including the battles because the monsters are still invisible on the main map. For those who are watching this for walkthrough purposes, it'll show you where the battles actually are. I'm going to say right now, this clip is mostly going to be commentary about the walkthrough in general. We're not going to advance the plot at all. In fact, I'm going to wander around lost for the next 10.5 minutes. So if you just want to skip to the next clip, if you're watching this for a walkthrough, you can. Or you can just kind of stay with us and turn the volume down if that annoys you or whatever. But I want to take a few minutes and just point out what my walkthroughs really consist of. Most of the people who do a walkthrough of a game is doing it for the purpose of instructing the next person, the watcher, such as yourself, how the game is played. And ultimately, you can do that watching this. But you'll also notice I'm wandering around lost in this clip, and I will do that continually for the rest of the game, no doubt. The reason is I'm just simply playing the game. I'm not really doing it with the intent of instructing. I'm just playing the game. And a person may question, why on earth would I want to just put that up for people to watch? Why would I want people to just watch me play a video game? And there's a number of reasons why. First of all, I'm willing to wager that the issues that I've been talking about and will continue to talk about in this game are common issues that other people have thought about. And that's one reason that I'm putting this up, is just if perhaps you have played this game before, you may be thinking the exact same things I'm saying. And so it's kind of a confirmation that, yeah, this is a common problem. Second, for others like myself, people will watch walkthroughs on YouTube here as if they were watching a movie. They watch it with the same mentality like they're watching a movie. Many RPGs, in fact, play out perfectly like this because they're story-based. My wife and I, for instance, have watched a number of the Final Fantasies online rather than play them. The reason is it's something we can do together. Not to mention, some games just are better to watch than to play. In all honesty, I would rather watch Final Fantasy V, for instance, than play it. It just works out better that way. Finally, perhaps there are some who are watching this for walkthrough, but they kind of hate this commentary. Turn the volume down. I'm not going to be offended one bit if you just want to watch and not listen to me, because granted, I probably wouldn't want to listen to me. I have a kind of an annoying voice, so feel free. Another thing I wanted to bring out while I've got this free time wandering around lost here is I wanted to kind of talk about some of this project and other projects I've been working on. And I know you're thinking right now, oh, Grady's going to start plugging advertisements in his walkthrough. But, no, I just wanted to kind of state where I got the idea and where I'm going with this project, with VGRiffers. I got the idea originally, about 10 years ago, from a TV show that I grew up watching. And that show was Mystery Science Theater 3000. Now, if you've never seen the show, a number of individuals would watch a movie and make fun of it. In fact, you could see the little silhouettes at the bottom of the screen, like they were sitting in a theater, and they just kind of poked fun at the movie. But rather than just analyze it like I'm analyzing this game, what they were doing was just kind of like poking fun at it. Like they would like throw in it was their own voice, but they would like make fun of the characters by adding their own dialogue, or they would point out some logistic problems with the plot, things like that. That's kind of the angle I was going for. Less analytical, less talking about the game, more making fun of the game. I wanted to do with games what they did with movies, since I like games more, honestly. The problem is that video games just don't translate well to that. Them making fun of a movie, which is almost all story and plot, because you got to keep the interest of a watching audience rather than a participating audience. That works better than a video game, where a lot of times you've got random battles, you've got walking, you've got a lot of things that kind of muddy up the time, so to speak. It makes it where you're watching battle after battle after battle like you're doing here, it's really hard for me to make fun of that. I mean, I can point out that this battle is stupid because of this reason or that, but if I'm playing 700 battles, that's not going to keep the attention of anybody for the most part, unless they're watching with the intent of a walkthrough. So, I mean, that's how walkthroughs work for video games, but not for movies. So what I'm probably going to do after this game is just kind of cut out even just the dungeons in general, just sew together anything that involves the plot. And you'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. In fact, that's what I'm going to do with this next project I've got lined up, and it's going to work a little bit better for that game than this one. I'll just leave the story parts. I'm going to finish this out as a walkthrough, and really there are some games that translate well as a walkthrough. This one, I can kind of talk about how the battles are stupid, and there are other aspects of the actual gameplay I can make fun of. So this works better as a walkthrough, I think. But in the future, just to let you know that some others are going to be a little bit more like Mystery Science Theater. And I'm hoping to get some guests, people, to help me make fun of them. I want to turn my attention back to this as a walkthrough again, because I've got some battles coming up here in a second that really need to be brought up. This next battle, for instance, just watch. Just like that. Game over. Can you believe it? I mean, what happened, in case it was so fast because I was pushing buttons, I didn't expect this to happen, was Ben attacked. The first bird countered with petrification as a counter move. That works the same as death in this game, petrification. So it was just a counter death move basically, and then the second attack was on Phoebe as a petrification move. So just like that, I died. When I brought out my introductory video, this is exactly what I was talking about. I just got a game over, and it just happened like that. And it didn't need to happen like that. It's really stupid to even have a move like counter petrification. There's no way around it. Some battles later, there will be 3 of the same kind of enemies, and they'll all just try to petrify. Only 2 people have to hit with petrification for you to have a game over out of 3 attempts. I will really have a hard time later, and I'm not looking forward to it, but that's just poor programming for the monsters. I've already got a game over. I hate it when I get a game over. But I just need to calm down from that. It's moments like this where I don't have a whole lot to say, just walking around, that you'll notice that the audio in the video is slightly off. You'll hear the jump before you actually see the jump. I'm just having problems with all of my projects on the computer with that, and I'm really not quite sure how to fix that. Been working on it for some time. It's not this time it's not the compilation program, like some of the other technical difficulties I'm having. But if you're still with us after all that talking that I just did, I appreciate, y'all watching. I'd like some feedback on some of these. If you'd like to comment about what you think about some of the things that are coming up, either about the game or about my commentary, I would be interested, by the way. In this battle, I mentioned in the last clip that these guys have the ability to cure themselves, but I haven't found an example yet. Well, here's an example. It's the first monster you'll encounter in the game that has the ability to cure themselves. It's kind of interesting that it's this long in the game, the second dungeon, before you can find that. Here's a dead end. You notice I like to jump around a lot in this game. I mentioned it's just kind of fun. And this dungeon, that actually comes in handy, because as you're jumping, you'll find monsters before you actually encounter them. If you see that you only do a half jump at some point, I did some earlier, I don't think I'll do any more before the end of this clip. But if you kind of see that you only jump 1 space forward, the reason is because there's an invisible monster in front of you. So it's a nice way of finding a monster before you actually have to fight them. So you'll see them ahead of time. Just a little technique, I guess. You can kind of see the audio and video is off big time here. Still no sound effect on the elemental attacks. But running out of time on this clip, so we'll go ahead and cut this one off at the end of this battle, and we'll get back with part C and just hope that I'll figure out where I'm going in this.